You hope they can have him soon. Brian, thanks so much. Arthel?
Well, Eric, after a recent string of scandals for his league, should NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell cede some of his authority? Goodell was very noncommittal on this issue in a news conference he gave yesterday. The media session was held to give Goodell a chance to respond to questions regarding his handling of the Ray Rice domestic abuse case. Here to examine this case as well as other I don't know how much other legal issues we're going to get to, but we'll find out. Keisha Hebron is here. She is defense attorney, and former prosecutor and defense attorney David Wohl is here as well. Good to see both of you.
Good to see you, too.
Hi, Arthel.
Yeah, well, let's go down the list and see how far we can get on this one. Keisha, I want to start with you and first ask you, did you get satisfactory answers and explanations from Roger Goodell?
No, I did not. And from the beginning, when I saw the first video of the fiance being dragged out of the elevator, I automatically said there has to be video footage of what happened in there. And the fact that the NFL claimed that they didn't see the second video until September when we all saw it, it never made sense to me. And now they're afraid that their reputation is on the line, and I'm not satisfied with the responses that we're getting.
So Keisha's not satisfied. David, Goodell says the NFL should have new rules and guidelines in place by the Super Bowl. I mean, should this happen more immediately?
Well, exactly, Arthel. It's not like Roger Goodell woke up one morning, suddenly grew a conscience, was guilt-ridden, and decided to implement these changes. What happened was Harvey Levin and TMZ published the video that they got with one phone call. Right. So the credibility has been so damaged by this, either cover-up or the NFL implementing sort of a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil policy. Any way you look at it, it's an absolute disgrace. I don't think you can rely on justice NFL style being served anymore in these cases. I think Goodell has so damaged the credibility of the league that he should on his own just step aside, let somebody new come in, and then implement the policies, and we'll see how it works.
Yeah, let me sidestep just a little bit, Keisha, and ask you if you think these cases that have surfaced in the NFL will encourage or discourage victims of domestic violence to report abuse.
I think they will encourage victims. Well, actually, let me change that. It depends on the circumstances, because some victims of domestic violence fear that they're going to create a problem with their spouses or mates' financial situation, as in this case, or that they're going to ruin their reputation, and that victim needs significant therapy to understand it's not their fault. But what I'm seeing in court now as a defense attorney, the judges are taking domestic violence a little more serious, and they're not allowing dismissals even when the victim says, oh, I want it dismissed. They're saying, no, we need to look further into this. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Very good.
And Arthel, one thing, let me just say this. The criminal justice system in that particular jurisdiction damaged too. You never see diversion, which is basically a plea of guilty, set it off a year, do some domestic violence classes, and then have the case dismissed. And a felony assault case like this with great bodily injury, it never happens. But guess what? If I'm a defense attorney in that jurisdiction, I bring my client in and say, hey, look, it was good enough for Ray Rice. It's good enough for my client. I demand that. And therein you have a huge problem with the public's confidence in the criminal justice system, because if that happens, guess what? The floodgates open. So that prosecutor as well should resign, in my view.
Let's talk about those other legal legs of this case, potential legal legs. If the owner of the Ravens, Steve Bisciotti, I think is that how you say his name, tried to push, and this is an allegation at this point, this is being reported by another network, if he tried to push that video under the rug in an effort to keep the star money-making running back on the field, could Steve face legal or a civil lawsuit? Keisha, you're up on this one.
Absolutely, and there may be even some perjury issues as well, because he's stating that he didn't know anything about this video until September. Absolutely, civil suits will definitely be, in my opinion, needed in this type of situation.
And
I don't know, Arthel.
Go ahead.
I don't know, because here's the deal.
Tell me.
Janae Rice is on Ray's side now. What's she going to sue for? She wants Ray to get his job back. She's part of that team, and she does what so many domestic violence victims do, flip-flop, go sideways right after the event happens. So she's certainly not going to sue. It was terrible, if that's true, that the Baltimore Ravens had this information and either didn't share it with the NFL or concealed it. But here's the reality. We know now that TMZ made the call one time and got the video, so it's really shame on the NFL. They could have gotten up off their rear ends and gotten it themselves, and they just decided that they wanted a 2-game suspension. That was good enough for them, so they weren't going to get into it. And it was, it was forced on them, and that's unfortunate because, again, their credibility is at stake.
David, I got to go, but yes or no, should Roger Goodell step down?
I think he should, and I think he'll be forced to within 30 days.
Okay, I have to leave it there. Keisha, do you want to chime in quickly?
I agree with David 100%.
Okay, Keisha Hebron, David Wohl, thanks to both of you.
Thank you,
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Arthel.
Arthel, the U.S. military reaching a new milestone today in the